inflammation, of repair deficit. And if we just look at the cardiovascular piece, 2 Americans die every minute of avoidable cardiovascular events. That's 550,000 a year. And of those, 500,000 are from complications of diabetes. So most of the people that get heart attack, strokes, atherosclerosis, etc., have one or another form of diabetes. And then there's about 50,000 people that have other kinds of cardiovascular problems. And we know the goal value. The goal value for C-reactive protein is less than 0.5. And we'll talk later about, in summary, about these goal values and why they're so valuable. But let's look at inflammation. It's now related, if you look on one side of the slide, it's related to autoimmune diseases from arthritis to diabetes. And that includes, by the way, eczema and psoriasis and multiple sclerosis and migraine headaches. And it's related to cardiovascular disease and cancer, to pulmonary diseases, and to neurological diseases from Alzheimer's to prion diseases. And many scientists today will tell you that Alzheimer's senility is actually diabetes of the brain. And when you combine work like Giuseppe Lugnami's on prion diseases and Alzheimer's or neurologic diseases with imbalances in sugar insulin energy conversion, I think it makes a very strong case that we should keep our blood sugar in our systemic circulation, in our blood circulation, but also in our brain. Because, by the way, your brain runs off of glucose. Don't doubt that glucose is the fuel for your brain. Your brain knows that it needs glucose, but it only needs a little bit at a time. Too little is too little, of course, and too much is too much. I'll bet you heard that as a child. It's really true. You want the equivalent of the middle path. You want just right. You don't want too much because more is not better. You don't want too little because too little is really too little. We can now tell you how much is enough. And here I'm going to give you an example. It's called the C cleanse, and this is how to find out how much ascorbate and vitamin C you need, but I'm going to call it ascorbate because it's not a vitamin. It is really a substrate. It's really a protective antioxidant that sacrifices itself so that all the other antioxidants can be regenerated. And if you want to know how much you need, we recommend that if you're healthy, you take 1.5 grams every 15 minutes or 6 grams an hour until you cleanse. If you're moderately ill, twice as much. If you're chronically ill, you might start with 2 teaspoons, which is 6 grams every 15 minutes. That's 24 grams. And that 24 grams is 24,000 milligrams, if you do the math. And in 2 hours, that would be 48 grams. And most people will cleanse within 2 hours at that level. The point I'm making here is you may be familiar with bowel tolerance. This is the next generation after. Here, you rapidly ramp up and saturate the system with quality ascorbate. Then the ascorbate energizes the rectum, pumps fluid and schmutz and toxic matter into the rectum, and it comes whooshing out. Some people say it's like peeing from your butt. I don't say that, but some people say that. Okay. Now, here's a few thousand people who told us how much ascorbate it took for them to cleanse, and now I'm going to show it to the same data, but I'm going to show it to you in a way that I think is more understandable. And so on the far left, you see the yellow. That's the healthy people. It took them 4 grams or less to cleanse. That's just what you would expect. People who have very few symptoms, 5 to 10 grams. The average 80% between 10 and 120 plus grams. And about 1 in 20 people needs even more. Do we need more ascorbate today than 20, 50, 100 years ago? Yes, dear, we do. And why? Why? Well, because the oxidative stress the oxidative stress comes from breathing the air, eating the food, drinking the water, having a restructured life and style and certain stresses in life. These are each and all contributors to increasing the ascorbate you need, and the amount you need is critical. Because, and here's another secret, this is an open secret, but this is a secret. If you get 100% of what you need, you get 100% of the value. But if you get, say, 50% of what you need in ascorbate, you'll get like 1/4 of the benefit. So life is not linear, life is biological and geometric, and what it says is locking it all together, doing all the things that are needed is really very smart, and you get an enormous synergy of benefits when you get what you need. And then the question has long been, how much do you need? Do you want to measure plasma ascorbate every morning? No, 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 we're not going to do that. So we developed the C-Cleanse. It's been in use for about 25 years, I think, now. It is the next generation after bowel tolerance, if you're familiar with Bob Cathcart's work on that. And he was a terrific guy who was in this area for many years. But now I want to move to a more practical aspect, because if you need more ascorbate based on your cleanse, you also need other essential nutrients such as flavonoids and flavonols, the colorful polyphenolics in the superfoods and fruits. You know those dark fruits and foods that are superfoods and fruits? They really are. They really are. And I prefer them really vine ripened. When you take a raspberry or a fig off the vine from your front yard in the afternoon after it's been in the sun, or in the morning when you just tiptoe out at dawn, it's a mechaya. Now, do I have to translate mechaya for this audience? No, it's okay. All right, it is. So polyphenolics are the colorful aspects of foods, and they work synergistically with ascorbate. If you need more ascorbate, you need more of the polyphenolics. And kind of the pearl here, the clinical insight, is that we're going to protect and activate structural repair. If you want your bones and large blood vessels and joints and so forth to repair, then you need what I'm talking about. And you need the amounts that the C-Cleanse and the guidance we would provide you.